sun hasn't died deep in my bones, straight from inside. I'm waking up.
This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Yo, fellas, I ain't thinking about y'all. This is for everybody that like things. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low? Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Drop your bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that ground. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, gots to go. Gots to go. To the people that moving slow, just moving slow. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they worth. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it off, baby, let me see. You might get a little more Lucci. G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing it side between them buns. Shawty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like a 94. When I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip.
Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God. Defend me from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men. The mighty are gathered against me. Awake to help me, and behold.
All right, everybody, how we doing tonight? Oh, a little later than I wanted to stream. I was going to stream around 8. for a while, I was planning on streaming with Liam at 8 on Wednesdays, but he never can manage to. See, that's early in the morning to him in his upside down ass country of Australia that doesn't have its flag on the moon. So he's like, oh, he's not online. So I was like, whatever. And I was going to go ahead and stream because I figured, why not? But then, I don't know, kind of got caught up in other shit. Had a big old stack, well, not a big old, but I had a stack of comics that I wanted to read, really wanted to look forward to. And I got caught up on this week's Alien Earth, which is great. That show rules. I love that show so much. Best alien shit, at least on screen, since the first two movies. Eyeball Monster really stealing the show. I don't know what the official name of that creature is in canon. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck either, to be honest. I'm not that into it. He's the Eyeball Monster. That's what we're going with. Fucking Eyeball Monster. That show is great, though. I do enjoy it. You know what show you can't enjoy anymore, though, is Jimmy Kimmel. Which one did he have? Late night, or I don't know. I don't know which one he had, but he's fucking done. I want to watch a little Destiny. I don't really want to, but we're gonna. No one really wants to. I don't really understand the weird ass aspect ratio on this fucking video. I don't even know how you do that. But there you go. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Destiny joins us now. Destiny.
I want you to pay attention. I watched this too earlier. I want you to pay attention to Destiny's body language. I've often said, you can tell a lot from these people if you just mute it sometimes and just watch the body language. That doesn't always hold true, especially with more amateur people. People that aren't used to being in front of a camera or something are just going to be nervous. Right here, the body language is perfect on all of them. So, you got Jack Posobiec, who's just discussed it probably at Destiny. Same with Anna. Just had it. Just had it. And then Andrew Wilson over here is, he's probably concerned about if he has to open a pickle jar later. He's probably thinking about that, I would imagine. He's terrified that a pickle jar might be nearby. But Destiny, when I watched this earlier on Twitter, his eyes are darting back and forth. He's got the mentality. He's got the body language of a fucking, like a rat you cornered. A fucking squirrel that you've cornered. He's afraid. That's right, Chad. Anna can get it. Especially now. Especially now that she's still kind of lefty, but she's like reasonable lefty. She's like got a soul lefty. You know what I mean? I can work with that. I'm not super far right when it really comes in. Like she goes on Tucker kind of lefty. I'm fine with that. Anna can get it. I would be more than happy to argue politics after the deed with Anna. Anyways, let's watch Destiny.
You've been quite active on social media since
Something.
Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis, in response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their...
Well, those are like laughing, crying. I guess those are crying. I swear I remember when he put that up, it was the laughing, crying, but whatever.
Flags, a half-mast in memory of Charlie. You posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect.
Which is the only fully erect thing Destiny has done in quite some time.
And you then posted yesterday, ending every Conservative debate call out I do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think?
You know, some of y'all are going to hate me for this. But that is objectively a pretty kind of funny line. I'm not going to lie. Destiny's a piece of shit, don't get me wrong. 100% line him up against the wall. But I'd be lying when I read that if I didn't smirk a little. If it didn't smirk a little. Fair is fair, all right? That's all I'm saying. Funny is funny, okay? You can roast me sometimes, and I'm just like, it's funny, you know? Oh, let's go ahead and center that a bit more.
Your response to the cold-blooded murder.
Again, I want you to look at it. See, his eyes are darting a lot. And I understand, you know, you look at, like, other screens while you're streaming. I get that. But, like, he's not kind of glancing. His eyes are just darting around.
Yeah.
I love Jack. And, I mean, I'm not a fan of Jack Posobiec by any stretch. Hell, of this panel, the person I have the most respect for is Anna, to be honest with you. And not just because that's the person I most want to put my penis in, by a wide margin. But also, that's legitimately the person I think has the most soul on this panel. I guess Jack is kind of a distant second as far as respectability. I'd put Pierce above Andrew Wilson, above the Pickle Jar Man. Like, the Pickle Jar Man is pretty low on the list of people I respect, but he's nowhere near as low as America's favorite cuck over here. Literal cuck, by the way. That's not... We're not saying cuck in the mere pejorative sense. We're saying cuck is in his wife fucked black guys in front of him and then left him for said black dick.
Of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate.
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives...
Look at Anna, just like, Jesus. See, because Anna, to a greater extent even than me, because I am only feeling this a little bit right now, Anna understands that the right has gained a tremendous amount of cultural and political capital after a little bit after 3 p.m. a week ago. And Anna knows that the right can do a lot of dumb, goofy, ridiculous horseshit with that and may push things entirely too far. She knows that. She's probably considerably worried about that. And she also knows that guys like Destiny are going to make that shit happen. So she's like instantly like, so she said, yeah, all that stuff was great. It was cool. She's just like, she instantly is like, are you fucking kidding me? This fucking cuck
can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We
need to turn the temperature down on the right, guys. We need to turn the temperature. They're shooting us in the neck after they've spent 15 years getting us fired for opinions that all of humanity had until fucking 6 months ago. But we are the ones that need to turn the temperature down, guys. Destiny has said some of the most vile shit imagined, not just regarding Charlie Kirk, but just period. But we need to turn the temperature down, guys.
are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down.
Oh, so the liberals need to stop being nice. They literally just shot the biggest dork on the biggest, friendliest fucking teddy bear dork on the right. look, I've talked shit on Charlie Kirk. A lot of his positions I think were stupid. Although he was coming around on a lot of those. His positions were evolving, and I think almost entirely in the right direction. But the worst I ever thought of him was he was just a huckster. That's the worst I ever thought of him. Not that he was some monster that should be shot in the neck. Are you kidding me? Chad says, I thought it was in the Twilight Zone with Anna being such an insufferable it made Anna look like a saint in comparison. Look, man, Anna's coming around. I don't know what to tell you. Anna has grown on me so much in the last, I want to say maybe 2 years, especially the last year.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's...
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for a second term. So in other words, it's just full on mask off. Give us what we want, or we will. It's your fault, conservatives, that we had to shoot this guy in the neck in front of his wife and toddlers because you elected a guy we don't like. We didn't get our way, and so it's your fault that we had to do this. It's like abusive fucking spouse mentality. It's like, look what you made me do, okay? You shouldn't have burned the fucking dinner. Chad says he mocked kids who died in a flood. Of course he does. Destiny is just absolutely reprehensible. Again, though, I want you to watch his body language, though. He's afraid.
in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10.
No one joked that. Joe Biden shit his pants in front of the Pope every time he spoke. Almost every time. Sometimes we got him hopped up on baby adrenaline enough he could string together a sentence. But nearly every time he spoke, he was a fucking embarrassment. The country was on fire. The dollar was collapsing. No one could afford eggs or gas. Like, what are you talking about? It was boring. Are you fucking kidding me? The war in Ukraine broke out during that time. What the fuck? Yeah, it was boring because you refused to cover any of the stories. I guess there's no news if you just don't look at the news.
And of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent...
There really hasn't. None of these protests have been particularly big. I mean, you compare them to, good God, the Summer of Love. I guess under Trump's first term, maybe. All that fucking I can't breathe shit. But under the second term, no. Like, we cut off the U.S. aid. You guys don't have fucking protested money anymore.
Political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
The overwhelming majority of it has been conservative. Says who? I got to go back to, like, the Oklahoma City bombing to think of some, like, some right-wing terrorism. I mean, I guess if you count January 6th, which is a fucking joke, fine, I guess that. There was that fucking white nationalist kid about 10 years ago that shot up the black church, the bowl cut faggot. I remember a bunch of the fucking spurgs on, like, the right stuff and stuff were like, we're the bowl cut gang or something. There was that. I mean, outside of that, I'm honestly struggling to think. And, like, I'm not beholden to the right wing. I'll criticize them when I feel like they're worth criticizing. But no, it's all left-wing shit. All the George Floyd riots, left-wing shit. Hell, even my governor, fucking Josh Shapiro, you know, Jewish Democrat IDF motherfucker, him and his family got attacked in their home, or like that somebody threw a Molotov cocktail in their home or something. But that was a leftist. That was one of the Free Palestine lefties. Fucking Rand Paul got attacked by his leftist neighbor recently. Trump got fucking shot. Why, oh my God, why did that fail to immediately spring to mind? They shot him in the fucking ear. And then they shot at him again like a month later. What are you fucking talking about? It's all right-wing violence. What do you just mean like when we make fun of you on Twitter, when we call you a faggot cuck? Are you counting that as right-wing violence? Are you counting like Gamergate as violence against women? Is that how we're doing this, Joe? Like, is that how we're coming to this number?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family, who was a 22-year-old
guy
white
described.
dude. What?
He was a lefty. Oh my, he was raised in a Christian family. So fucking what? Like, what is it? What? He's his own entity. He's a grown-ass man who was in college. He's his own fucking entity. He made his own fucking choices. He has his own fucking beliefs. For fuck's sake, the stereotype of the preacher kid being a faggot leftist didn't come out of nowhere. People sometimes rebel against their fucking upbringing. Look at a soy. You can't find a good pause on Destiny. Nice soy jack there.
No, Destiny.
Trans. He
no,
didn't
Destiny.
have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influence.
You know, he did have a trans boyfriend or girlfriend or something. He did, actually. That's a fact, Destiny. You're lying right now. You know, the lie that got Jimmy Kimmel fucking canned.
He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys were wrong on all of that.
To be
No, that's all real.
clear, the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to...
Look again. I want you to look at Destiny as this is going on. His eyes are darting everywhere. Now, again, it's understandable to be nervous when you're on a panel with 4 other people that disagree with you. You're on the defensive. I get that. But I don't really think that's what this is, because this guy does this shit for a living. I think on some level, Destiny knows what time it is. You understand that? Like, I think on some level, Destiny realizes, not totally, not like he should, because if he really realized where this country is right now in this moment, he would. I mean, I assume he has money. I assume he's made a lot of money streaming. He would fuck off. He would log the fuck off and just go dark. At the very least, just be talking to your hug box. Don't go on Piers Morgan. Don't let everybody outside your hug box forget you exist. Because I want to be clear here. On the off chance you should hear this, you faggot cuck. You're in danger. And I'm not saying that right-wing violence is coming to get you. I'm not saying the bowl cut kid is coming to get you. I'm saying you're in danger of facing legal consequences because you are constantly popping off at the mouth with actionable shit that could get you sued or arrested. You have popped off at the mouth with actual threats against government officials and media officials before. You are constantly popping off at the mouth with actionable slander or... Yeah, slander is spoken. Print, it's libel. Famous J. Jonah Jameson quote. With actionable slander. If you don't fuck off or knock it off, you may end up like Carl Jobs, or you may just end up in fucking prison. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. I'm saying that's a very distinct possibility. And Destiny, on some level, knows this, I think. Deep down, he knows he fucking deserves it, first of all. But also knows it's a very real possibility, the way things are going. And you could say that's ridiculous. I don't believe it. Look at where we're at. How many times has Jimmy Kimmel popped off at the mouth with just complete lies? But this time, he got fired in a day for it. He's gone. His show is done. It doesn't even finish out the week. Pack it up. The FCC chairman just talked about, we're looking into finding ABC about this. And that was enough. He's gone. Things are different now. And on some level, I think you can tell by his constantly darting eyes and his body language, I think deep down in that shriveled black little thing that passes for a soul in him, he feels it.
Do this. That's just
I'm sorry, excuse me, when?
yesterday he said that. The
No.
governor
When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college? Not
I don't
the
know when he
18
was
years that he
radicalized, but I do
because
know.
what you just said
I do
is not
know
true.
the very
No, that's
reasonable
not true.
sounding governor of Utah
No.
has made
No,
it
it's
clear
not true.
that the
No, he hasn't made it
you may
clear.
not want
He
to
said
hear
this is an
this.
ongoing
You
investigation.
may not want to
No, you
hear
don't
it,
wanna hear
Destiny,
Piers.
but the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to
Look at the look on Anna's face. Good God. Looks like my dominatrix when she's had enough of my shenanigans. Jeffersovic and Pickle Jar Man just shaking their head in disgust at this cock. And he's just flailing. Just flailing.
murder Charlie Kirk. Now let me
They're just looking back and forth and shit.
just
that's
ask
just
you.
not true.
Let me just
There's
ask
no
you.
way
well,
to deal with it.
Okay,
You're living in a
accusing the
delusional
governor of lying.
fantasy. Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
Sure.
if it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So
The
you
fact
won't
that
condemn
Keegan-
Destiny, you're the only one on this panel that doesn't look like he's calm. Or she's calm. You cannot find a good fucking frame. Every frame of Soy Jack. There's your fucking novel about Destiny. Every microsecond of this man's fucking existence has been its own Soy Jack. Jimmy Kimmel went on the air Monday, I think it was. I think it was Monday. Comes back from the weekend. And he says, MAGA has reached a new low. They're trying to pretend like this gay furry that was screaming, that wrote messages about fascism was somehow not MAGA. We're pretending, we're not claiming the gay furry, okay? I mean, granted, a lot of the Groypers are that, but it turned out a Groyper would have called him a faggot, okay? Groyper would have called him something other than a fascist. So he goes on, and he knows, and he goes on and he spreads a lie. Two days of internet dust up later, or 1 day of internet dust up later, the FCC, head of the FCC is talking about revoking their license because some of you aren't in America, so I'll explain this. Some of you, it's been so long since you've even had cable, let alone network TV, so I'll explain this. The networks, ABC, CNN, CBS, NBC, Fox, I think CW, count in this regard. They still technically broadcast over the airwaves. The FCC doesn't have a ton of regulations over cable. Barely any, if all. Cable's mostly been self-regulated throughout its existence. But the airwaves are public property. You know, they have to be licensed out because you can't have a million TV stations all trying to go on the same frequency. Doesn't work. Same with like how the radio used to be. Again, everybody has Spotify and satellite radio or whatever the fuck you got now, but whatever. That's how terrestrial radio works too. And in order to have your license to be on this frequency, you have to be serving the public interest. You have to have a certain amount of educational shit, that kind of thing. So because of that regulation, the FCC can very easily just yank ABC off the fucking airwaves. I don't know if they can shut them down on cable. Again, that's a bit of a... But the point is, they can give a substantial blow to network TV that's already struggling. I mean, for fuck's sake, they weren't having a great time during the era of cable, and now we've moved on to the era of streaming. So, ABC just shut them down. They didn't have to really do anything. They just threatened. The head of the FCC just said, yeah, we're looking into it. That was enough. That was enough that they were like, shut it down. Shut it down. It's a different country than it was a week ago, chat. Chat says I still watch Family Guy live on antenna. Well, that's something. I don't think I've had rabbit ears since like 04, 05-ish. And I didn't even really have... My girlfriend, who I kind of lived with, had it. She didn't have cable. I sort of still lived back with my parents, but not really. Like, my mailing address was my parents. Most of my... I still had a lot of my stuff there, but I was at my girlfriend's probably most of the week at any given week. So I was there. I mean, literally, I used to tape shit at my parents' house and then bring over some tapes and we'd watch it. But she had antenna, and all we could pick up was the NBC because it was shitty antenna. I actually remember in 03, I lived in Pittsburgh for a little bit, and my roommate and I, he had an old TV that still had the UHF on it. And I don't know why, I assume this was pirated somehow, but somebody was broadcasting MTV2 on a UHF frequency. And this was back when MTV2 was a brand new channel that you had to have like the deluxe cable package to even get. And it was just being broadcast on UHF somehow. I assume pirated it, but I've looked it up online. I've never heard anybody mention it. You know what I mean? Like no old stories about it, so... Chad said it was mainly because people were boycotting the ABC affiliates. There was also that, yeah. Advertisers were getting nervous and shit. You know, it's funny. A lot of these leftists, they really don't... They don't see what is happening here. There was a tweet I just saw, and it made me laugh. I'll read it. I'm not going to bring it up on screen because it's on my fucking phone, so I don't... But, Kyle Keegan, real Kyle Keegan. I don't know who that is, but he tweets out just today. Mark Cuban could build a killer network. Phrasing there, buddy. Killer network around Colbert and Kimmel. And it's like, are you kidding me? You don't understand what time it is. You don't understand what's happening right now. What are you talking about? Let's assume that Mark Cuban wanted to do this. And he's going to build a network around Kimmel and Jimmy Kimmel and fucking Colbert. It's going to be the absolute commie propaganda network. First of all, like there aren't a million of those already. Second of all, who the fuck's going to watch it? But okay, let's assume you get all the hardcore 20 to 30% Destiny fans of this country to fucking watch it. Who the fuck in this climate's going to advertise on that? Well, okay, maybe you go pure subscription model. And all the faggot cucks line up to fucking drop their $10 to $15 a month for it. You're still, like, in this climate, those two idiots are just going to say all sorts of actionable, if not illegal shit that you'll be sued into the dirt. And, like, it's over for this shit. It's done. And by the way, what the fuck happened to Jimmy Kimmel? The decline of Jimmy Kimmel should be studied. Some of you aren't as old as me. You don't fucking remember. But I remember The Man Show. And it ruled. The Man Show was fucking hilarious. And not only was The Man Show wild and crazy and off the fucking chain, but Jimmy Kimmel was the crazy one out of the two. Adam Carolla was the straight man. Jimmy was the unhinged fucking maniac. Jimmy was the one that, never mind doing blackface, he did black body. He had his whole basically his whole body painted black to be Karl Malone. And that shit was funny. From what I understand, even Karl Malone thought it was fucking funny. Because we had a fucking sense of humor back then. But to go from that to what he is now, like, when that show broke up, did Adam Carolla take all 4 of the testicles? I don't know, chat. I don't know where we're going with this. You know, it's like on one hand, I don't like, it's the right embraces cancel culture now. And it's like, yeah, well, the left moved on to assassination culture. So, you know, it's hard to get worked up. But I don't really like cancel culture. You know, I know some of the less principled fucking guys will be like, it works. And I'm all about the friend-enemy distinction. It works. And I'm like, well, as long as we win. And I'm like, well, what are we winning? Like, what are we fighting for here? I thought freedom was one of the things I was fighting for. So I don't like it inherently. I would rather live in a world where people can, like, talk on social media and say whatever the fuck they want. You know, as long as it's not a threat, as long as it's not actionable, and they don't get fucking fired. Like, I don't think the boss should be able to fire you for, if you're doing something off the clock and off company property, I don't think your boss should have any fucking say in it whatsoever. That's the kind of world I want to fucking live in. But that's not the world we live in, is it? And leftists, whose fucking fault is that? I understand that you seem to be incapable of self-reflection. I'm not the Annas of the world have already realized this, and but the Destinies of the world, I understand that you're, God, I hate to use a weeb reference, but it's like that reference from the fucking, what's that anime where the girl fights demons or something? Like the pointy-eared blonde girl fights demons. And all the leftists were like, media literacy, guys. The demons are the good guys. But there's a line getting passed around where it's like, she's talking about the demons and she's like, words don't mean anything to them. They're just noises that they utter to fucking deceive people. And that's what it is with you far leftists. It's like, it doesn't mean any. You just... Everybody made fun of Tucker last week, or 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, when he had like, oh God, who'd he have on? Lee Strobel. He had Lee Strobel on to talk about demons and supernatural shit and all. And I got my issues with some of Lee Strobel positions, but whatever. Demons are real, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. I believe a lot of things, like aliens are probably real too, but it's a different conversation. But the supernatural is real. Like, we have souls. There are spirits. There are demons. There are angels. There's God. All those things are very fucking real. And honest to God, you far leftists, you just have fucking demons in you. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain this to you. You're gone. You're too far fucking gone. Like, simple human psychology, I don't believe explains destiny. I don't think it does. Because I think at some point he would just be afraid and fuck off. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, but what was Charlie Kirk's big sin that he had to be shot in the neck? That these demons had to shoot him in the neck? He preached fucking Christianity mostly. He wanted people's souls to be saved. Yes, some of his political positions weren't fucking great. I don't believe a lot of them were conducive to the ideas of liberty, certainly, and not even to America first. Although, again, he was evolving on a lot of those. But he just wanted to talk to people. And he seemed to actually care about other people, and he treated you fucking commies with dignity and respect. The dignity and respect that on the surface you very clearly don't fucking deserve. But he still was like, no, I believe they have souls. I believe they're made in the image of God. And I believe no matter how much they on the surface deserve nothing but scorn and contempt. I believe deep down inherently they deserve respect. God bless them. I can't muster that in me. Not consistently. And you could be cynical and say, well, it was all a fucking act with Charlie, I guess. Maybe. But even if it was, maybe in that moment, every time one of these fucking demons was frothing at the mouth at him and calling him every stupid thing that he wasn't, maybe in his head he's thinking like, I'd like to just rip this person's fucking face off. I'd like to just hit him in the face with a hammer until they're dead. He might have been thinking that. He might have been feeling that. Maybe. But he still fucking smiled and was polite and respectful. So regardless of what he thought and he felt, he chose to treat these people with respect. And they still shot him in the fucking neck. Because you know what? Those kind of people, they can't stand it when you actually fucking see the value in them. They hate that. They may exploit it for their own ends, but if they can't exploit it for their own ends, if they're only left with somebody that's just legitimately saying to them, you have a soul and God loves you and you should turn to him, boy, that pisses them off. And it shouldn't, even if they don't believe in God, even if they think the Christian God is fucking make believe, whatever. You know, if some fucking Durka Muslim was, you know, legitimately said to me, may Allah bless you, I don't think Allah's real. If anything, I think fucking Muhammad probably saw a demon. But whatever. I know in his heart, or at least it seems, that he's trying to be nice to me. That he's wishing good things upon me. And I would at least accept and appreciate the fucking thought of that. Chad says it's going to be funny to watch liberals boycott Destiny. Oh, boycott Disney. Yeah, they're not going to do that. I mean, some of them may be, but like they're too caught up in their fucking play pretend. And I get it, man. I mean, I'm fucking, you know. One of the IDW comic artists was popping off at the mouth about how Charlie Kirk deserved it. One of the people on the Sonic comic. And I'm not reading the Sonic comic because it doesn't have Princess Sally in it, so it's no good. Honestly, I've read a little of the IDW Sonic. It just feels like an advertisement for the games, which I guess technically it was always meant to be, but it's like the games aren't even very good anymore. So like, I don't care. I just don't care. I read the DC Sonic crossover because I'm a sucker for crossovers, but generally I don't care. Whatever. It's one of the IDW Sonic artists, and they were popping off at the mouth and caused a shit stir, and they just privated their social media, and IDW is just pretending it didn't happen. And I've seen people like, you should boycott all the IDW comics. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I like Ninja Turtles. I don't know what to tell you. She wasn't on one of the Ninja Turtle books. Leave me alone. Like, I just want to read my. I like turtles. Okay, I want to read my turtles books. I get it. So yeah, liberals aren't going to do that. Okay, these faggy Disney adults don't have anything other than fucking Zootopia 2 or whatever the hell. Like, they don't. Okay. They have nothing but going to the latest Pixar movie about. It's about getting your period or something. Well, I don't know, Chad. I think that's about all I got tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going. We're heading far right. And I'm mostly happy with that. Mostly. Well, folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, and I don't know why you would, because it's low effort dog shit, but if you do, you should go ahead and hit streamlabs.com/thebacklot, send a donation when I'm not live. I'll see it when I am live. PayPal.me/thebacklot, and you can go to the Amazon wishlist down below and buy me some of the dumb shit that I like, and that would also be very, very cool. That's about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Check Liam's channel. I might be popping on that later tonight. That's about it for tonight. Backloff out.